Hello guys, today we're going to talk about Trivium. So, I have reviewed their albums, but they were in a different format where like in the video I'm showing the CD and stuff like that, and then I review the album in the description, but I don't know, I feel like talking about the albums again, except I'm just going to do them all at once in one video. And I'm not going to talk about each song because if I did that, this video would probably go over 10 or 15 minutes, and I don't want to do that, and I don't think my phone has enough space for that. So, um, let's go ahead and get started with, of course, the debut album, Ember to Inferno. I have the two-song sampler that has Pillar of Serpents and If I Could Collapse the Masses. So, yeah, there's many songs on this album that still hold up for me. Pillar of Serpents, of course, one of the heavier songs, maybe one of the heaviest songs ever, but I still love that song. And If I Could Collapse the Masses is actually one of my personal favorites from this album. I really like it. I'm a big fan of Requiem, of course, and To Burn the Eye, Falling to Gray. A lot of great songs on this album, and yeah, it doesn't have the best production, but it's still an album for me that holds up, and I still really like it. So next we have Ascendancy, which was the first album I checked out, but the first song I heard was Strife, and then after checking out Strife, I went to this album to check out next because I heard that it's the most popular or whatever. And this is another album that holds up for me. I mean, Rain. I remember when I first heard Rain, I was blown away. I really enjoyed it. Headbanging, bobbing your head, everything. I was doing everything. I really enjoyed this song. And of course, Pull Harder on the Strings of Your Martyr is still a great song. And the title track of this album convinced me to dive deeper into Trivium. The title track, Ascendancy. Everything about that song just put a smile on my face when I heard it for the first time. I just loved everything about it. The vocals, I mean the screaming, the clean vocals, and the guitar work just really wowed me. And A Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation is another song I like, and of course like Light to Flies and Deceived and Dying in Your Arms are other great songs on the album. But yeah, still an album that holds up for me. And same with this album, The Crusade, another album. Pretty much all the albums, pretty much all Trivium albums hold up for me. I still go back to pretty much all of them. On The Crusade, they went more of a thrash metal route. They try to show their Metallica influence, and that's definitely there. I mean, Detonation is a personal favorite from the album. I really like Anthem, We Are the Fire. Anthem is just a really catchy song. Definitely one of the catchiest songs on this album, and I really love the solo. And I think Tread the Floods and The Rising is underrated. Oh, and To the Rats is also underrated. To the Rats might be my favorite song on the album. Maybe, but I really love that song. But overall, still an album that holds up for me. Is it my favorite Trivium album? No, but it's still a great album. And then, of course, my number one favorite, Shogun. Love this album. Kurisaku Men is an incredible song. Definitely one of my favorite Trivium songs. And then it has my favorite Trivium song ever, Down from the Sky. Insurrection and The Calamity are pretty underrated songs that you guys should check out after this video. And yeah, it's my favorite album. It was the album where I feel like they're at their creative peak, and I just really enjoy it. Next we have In Waves, which, yeah, this album took a while for me to get into. I remember this being an album that I had a hard time with during the time when I was getting into this band, but this album has gotten better over time, and I really dig it. I love the title track, of course, Dusk Dismantled, Built to Fall, and Caustic Are the Ties That Bind, and Forsake Not the Dream are some personal favorites from me on this album. I just really enjoy those songs, and yeah, overall still a great album. And then we have Vengence Falls, which has the commercially successful song Strife, and I still enjoyed that song. It's still a pretty catchy song, and it does hold a place for me because it was the first Trivium song I heard. And No Way to Heal is another song I really enjoy. To Believe kind of reminds me of Disturbed, especially in the verses, which is pretty cool. And of course, Through Blood and Dirt and Bone and the title track are also really good. But I really like the album. And yeah, it's more commercial compared to other albums, but I don't really care. I still like it. And then we have Silence in the Snow, which people are divided about this album, but for me, this was actually an album that I've loved since first listen. I just really enjoy it. I mean, yeah, it has no screaming, and the solos are not as exciting as the solos in their past work, but hey man, it meets my standards. I mean, I really enjoy the clean vocals, and I enjoy the melodies throughout this album, and I really love the title track, Blind Leading to the Blind, Dead and Gone, and Rise Above the Tides is underrated. And their last album, The Sin and the Sentence, which is either this album or Ascendancy is my second favorite Trivium album. One of those two, but it's really hard. I love this album. Still holds up in 2018. Beyond Oblivion, the title track, Betrayer, Endless Night, Thrown into the Fire. I love the thrashy moments, and I even like the more simple moments, like The Heart from Your Hate. But still an album that holds up, and I think it's definitely one of their best. So those are my thoughts on their discography. Pretty strong discographies overall, and I'm excited for what they'll do next on their next album. So thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like. Have a nice day.